Hello everyone, Emily here, and I am going to make a tree in my round circle here, the tree of life. There we go, I was looking for that word. So I took this wire and I wrapped it around my vitamin jar, and I took one piece up and rolled it over and wrapped it around so that's a circle that does not open. This one I actually just took my needle nose and bent it this way, put this one through there, made the loop, and went around. So it wasn't very hard to make this loop. And then I have some of my my wire that I got at Walmart. It was 89 cents. This wire, however, I got at Walmart. I think I paid $4.50 or $5 for a spool of it, and I got it in the hardware part. Now, this 89 cents at Walmart, I love this stuff. It's really nice and soft, and it's 18 gauge. I'm not really good with wire, knowledge of the wire, but I do know that I love this wire, and it just is so easy to work with, and it's so forgiving. So, I am making trees to sell, and I've made quite a few, and so I thought, you know what, I better get on here so that I can show you how I'm doing it, because I don't know how many more of these I'm gonna make. I don't know how many I have. So what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna take my wire and I'm gonna just fold it, and I'm gonna cut it as long as I want it. And I'm gonna say this is probably about 9 inches long. Sometimes I do different sizes on these when I cut them. See, I'm folding them on one side because, you know, the top of the tree needs longer pieces. So if these aren't all the same size, I'm not going to fret. It does look like I'm going to use the last of it. I am going to cut that little piece off though, just because I don't need too many long ones. Okay, so I do have 3 pieces that are bent, and those are the 3 I'm going to work with. Now, this does move really nice, and it does just take a little bit of practice getting it tight. I don't think it's really too hard to wrap once you get the hang of it. So what I usually do, I have my right side facing me, and I like to try, if I can, to go right below. Now this is going to bend a little bit, but you can always bend it back in shape. The first piece, since I have 3, I kind of like to start in the middle with my first piece. And I wrapped it around. I got my finger back here, and when I'm not pulling really hard, but all you got to do is just go like this, and it tightens it up. I'm going to put my finger here. I'm going to bend my my wire. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get it as close to that next one, and I don't want to go over it. You can take your fingernails and just squish it together. If you don't have fingernails, you could use these. I prefer to use my fingernails because I do not want to put any gouges in my wire. So this is the bottom of my tree where your roots are. And this, of course, you can make this as many rounds as you want or as less rounds as you want. So I did that on that side, so maybe I want to do a couple on this side. And if my roots are not completely even, like not in the center of my tree, I do not have a tizzy attack about that. See here, I just wanted to get it tight, so I just move it back and forth. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it. And I don't want to use my pliers too much because I definitely do not want it to break off. Especially since I'm using the last of this wire and I don't have any more. So, okay. So the next piece, when I put it on, I always find this a little bit more tricky. And I have all my pieces at the front. Okay. So I want to have, of course, my one strand that I'm going to be going around again. I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to hold that piece back here and I'm just going to wrap it around. So now I can try to get it close. Now I'm going to take this one because we know that, oh, is there an empty gap there? Maybe there's not and I got lucky. I'm just going to make this tight. I'm going to go around one more time. And I love this Walmart yarn. And sometimes when I go, there is a lot of different colors. Okay, I don't have an open spot, so I'm pretty happy about that. Oh, close up, there is. I guess I'm blind. So I'm just going to take this piece and I'm going to go right into that opening. And I closed it up. Now I do like to keep my pieces towards the front of my project because I have got confused and ended up working in the back. Not nice. So now you can see I'm just going to go ahead and continue to wrap this around as many times as I want to. I'm not going to count these and do the same amount, but you could if you wanted to. I just eyeball mine and decide when I'm done. And you can see I'm just going to move it back and forth to get it nice and tight. Okay. Squish it. And I do have to say with long fingernails, it does help. I have some long, thick fingernails from taking a lot of vitamins. So I think that looks pretty good. My circle isn't too bad. Now this is really forgiving too, if I wanted to take it apart and get that a little bit tighter there. But I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to go around one more time. There we go. Okay. My last piece, I'm going to start from over here on this side. Okay. So I'm going to hold one piece of that wire right there. And I'm just going to try to make it nice and tight. And I'm just going to go around a couple of times just to make it tight to where I can get a good look at it and see if I have an opening there. Squish it a little bit. Remember, if it's not perfect, you are getting the close-up vision of this. So I do want to go around a few times. I really enjoy doing beads and this wire wrapping. I'm really new to it. So, believe me, I'm just showing you the basics that I have learned. So let's see what I got going on over here where okay, I'm gonna pull this one up a little bit tighter. It looks like I don't have an opening there, but it doesn't seem to want to fit in there. just going to take it and squish it, pull it a little bit, wiggle it, and it looks fine now. Okay, let me take a look here. So we can see that I have my top here and it's all off to the side, which, like I said, I wasn't going to stress over that. I think I'm going to go around maybe 2 more times there. Pull those little boogers up. So I'm just going to go around 2 more times. Okay, now I'm ready to make my tree. And I do not have a problem that it's over here to the side, because I usually like to make a wiggle in the middle of my tree. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this like this. I have my little needle nose here, and I'm not going to squish it. I'm just going to gently grab it and make a couple of kinks. And this is just going to give my roots of my tree a little bit of character. I only want to do one piece at a time. And I don't even care what way they go. You can do more than one kink on one or less. So you can see, I think that looks really good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my thumb right here on the base, and I want it to go right here where I want it to start, just below where I want it to come together. And then I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to grab all of these, put them together, and I'm just going to turn it. Now, the most wonderful thing about this wire from Walmart is it is so easy to work with. So now we can see that it's off to the side, but that's okay, because I am going to make this. I'm just going to manhandle it and make it a little crooked. Okay. Now I can decide if I want to do a couple of more of those turns, and I think I'm just going to do one good one. Okay. So now we can see my tree is not completely even, but what tree is. Now I'm going to start to separate these. I'm going to decide how I want them. I don't know why, but I always seem to like to have this first one just coming off to the side. So I think I'm going to take these 2 right here, and I am just going to twist them a little bit. That looks good. And I'm going to twist these 2. And I want to kind of keep my shape here. It's kind of hard though on the bottom with this to keep your shape, so having it off to one side is actually helping with that. And you don't have to have them all being turned the same way. I kind of like having them turned different ways. The light catches them really nicely, and it doesn't have to all be the same. So I can see right here, this one is so close. I don't want my beads to be so close. So I'm just going to go ahead right off the bat and do me a curlicue. So you can see I just bent it. I'm going to put my finger here, bring this up. I got me a little curlicue, and the more I put my finger here and pull on it, the smaller that gets. Now if I want it to get that yarn closer to that curlicue, I can just slip this in here, and I'm not pinching it hard at all, and I can just make it close up a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to put my finger on there, and I'm just moving it over. Okay. I love curlicues, and love them, love them, love them. So you're going to see me doing a lot of them. I think I'm going to do one right here. Really close. So you can see I'm just putting my finger here and bringing this around. Like I said, I have nails, so it really helps. And I'm just going to pull that down. So now I have another curlicue. Excited about that. I picked me out some beads here that I have chosen to use. I have a cat over here that's in the corner. He's being a little finky dink. No, let's not chew on the wire. Thank you. Miles, thank you. So I'm looking at my tree. I just love these trees. They're just so pretty. Okay. So I think I'm just going to, I'd like to start on an end. Now, if you decide you want to start here so that you keep your roundness and it's easier for you, you can decide to start wherever you want to. Now, I don't have very much of this wire left, so I'm not planning on going all the way around like I have with some of them. I'm planning on putting my beads on, ending it here, and doing a big curlicue. That's how I'm doing this one. I will show you pictures of the end at the end of some of the other ones where I usually wrap all the way around. But you know what? I think I'm going to start with this one since I did the curlicue already. And I just hid my curlicue. So I'm not very happy with that. So I'm going to grab me one of these little ones. These aren't so little. These are very cute though. Put me a gold bead on there. And you can just play with your beads. Some of the trees I've made, I didn't even put beads on them. I'm going to put a curlicue here on the top. And I love doing the trees when I am not using my tools all the time. I really enjoy just using my hands. I did get these beads at Walmart also. They have little packages of beads for 89 cents. That's where I got these. These I got in a package at Walmart, I believe. And it was larger and small round ones. And I think they were, oh gosh, I want to say $3. So they were the most expensive. But I'll have plenty of those left over for another project. So I think that looks really good. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. So now I'm just going to wrap this around. You can see this wire is just so friendly. And I'm going to just do the same thing I did with the roots. I'm just going to wiggle it a little bit until it gets tight. Use my fingers to squish it together. You can use your tool if you want to. I'm going to go around again. And let's see, let's be really friendly here. There we go. So I went around 2 times basically. I'm going to go around one more time. Okay. So now I have this little tool that has, if you don't have one, that's fine. But I'm just going to press on it. And what it does is it kind of hardens it a little bit so it's nice and it's staying in that spot. Now, you can do this at the end, but I'm going to do it right now because that way I can at least get this one long strand out of the way. Okay. I am going to put my finger here. I'm going to make my curlicue. You can see how easy this is working. Put my finger there. And I'm just going to start going around. Now when I put my finger on top and I'm bringing this around, you can see that it's going on the outside. And I can make it as tight up against it or as far away from it as I want. I usually don't make mine perfect. I've made a couple of rings where they look great, but I'm also pretty happy if they're not perfect. So now that I have my curlicue, I'm just going to take this wire. I'm going to take it and push it down back. I'm going to hold my curlicue with 2 fingers over here, and I went around. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the back, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to bury it over here. So you can see that I have taken it over there, and I'm going to grab my cutters. And because I don't need all that, I'm just going to cut the little bit off at the end. I'm going to take these needle nose, and I like to bend my end down and in. And now it will not poke anybody. And I have my curlicue at the end because I do not have enough wire to go all the way around. And I'm going to take this and I'm just going to smish it. And there we go. I have my first branch completed. Now, you can I've made them with the curlicues, and I'll show you at the end, without any beads at all. And those are still very pretty. So you could have branches that don't even, I want that more rounder, that don't even have any beads. Ooh, that's big. Okay. Let's see if we can make that a little bit smaller. So it depends on where I put it on here, how big it was, how big that's going to turn out. And like I said, I'm not smishing it. I was just using it to help make that circle. Because I'm really trying not to put any scarring on my, let's see, this one is bent. There we go. And I think I'm going to I think I'm going to put one of these on first. I'm going to kind of put it upside down. And when I say that, because one side always seems to be smaller than the other. So this will be a little bit different. There we go. I'm going to bring my yarn up against my bead. I think I'm going to do me a curlicue right here. And you know, as you're doing this, you're just going to get the fill. You're just going to decide where you want to put stuff. Little curlicue there. I'm going to put a bead on the end. I do have some silver beads here too, so I might throw a couple of those on just to give it some contrast of a different color. There we go. I'm going to do another curlicue. I think I want this curlicue to be a little bit bigger. Stick it in there a little bit. There we go. Yep, exactly what I wanted. And these beads are really filling up a lot of space. I'm really happy with that. So you do have to be really careful though when you're wrapping around the edge of it, because it will pull these curlicues that are the closest to the edge out. And I'm just pressing down very slightly with that just to harden those curlicues a little bit. And I am going to squish it, and I think I'm going to, there we go. Just pull that back a little bit. Just want it to be where I want it. There we go. So now I'm going to go around, and I'm going to do another curlicue on the end. So this is my first time going around. And my second. See, I'm pulling my curlicue over the edge because I'm tightening it. And my third one. Oops, I'm sorry if I'm out of frame. And there we go. I think I'm manhandling my camera too. Okay. So I'm just going to use my fingers to smush it up. And there's 4 rows there, it looks like. So I'm just going to use my tool. You can turn it over. Do the same thing. There we go. And see, I didn't really, do it real hard. So I'm going to put another curlicue here. So I'm going to put my finger on there. And I'm just going to curl it. And I'm going to just go back and forth to make it tight. And I'm going to put my finger on there and go around it, and it's going to go around the outside of it. Remember, I wiggle it just to tighten it up a little bit. And I'm going to go behind there. I feel like if I go behind there, I'm just giving it a little bit of extra something to hold on to. And I'm going to use my tools because this piece is really little. And I'm going to go around a few times. There we go. I'm going to turn it over. I'm kind of trying to make sure that my circle stays a circle. Okay. So now, got all these pieces sticking out. So now I want it. I don't think I have enough to go around again. So I'm going to take my piece and I think I'm going to cut a little bit off. And I'm going to take my end and I'm just going to curl it under. And I just put it right up against that side and you can't feel anything. And there we go. I like that. I like these beads. They are plastic, I'll tell you. They're plastic, but they don't look plastic and they're very shiny. And when you fill them, they just feel like plastic, but they still feel good. I like them. So now, you know, I got my lopsided tree here. Trying to keep this in a circle. Gonna maybe bring this down a little bit. I think I'll put a bead on here. And I've already got my curlicue there, so I think I'm going to do another one. You can see how relaxing, and I always think creating something always helps you feel better. I know it does me, like when I'm crocheting, and I've crocheted for years, but I've never really done wire wrapping, and I'm just really, really getting into it. And if you get the get the beads and the wire like I do in Walmart, and it's the expensive stuff, then you know it makes it really nice that you can do this for a low cost. Okay. So I think the most expensive thing we have here is this wire that I got in the hardware part, because the beads were cheap. This wire was cheap. You don't get a whole bunch, but I think I can make 3 trees with one of these 89-cent things. So let's put a bead on here and see how that's going to look. Love it. I want to make a small curlicue here, so I can put another bead on there. So doing this crafting, this wire, doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, of course I'm buying small quantities. I know I'm not buying a big, huge roll of it, but you know what? That's okay for me because it's what I can afford. And I don't need to be making 50 million of them, which is what I want to do. Okay. So that looks pretty good. You know, I really want to make another curlicue here. I'm not sure how that's going to work out because sometimes, you know, when I wrap it, it just pulls it out. But I'm going to do another one anyway. And I'm going to put my thing in my little, see how I just wrapped it right around there? It does make the circles really a lot nicer. And then I'm just going to put this here and I'm going to turn it. Now I'm just going to go around. I want to make sure that it's in the spot that I want it. It's going to hang right here. And I will probably use a silver chain to hang this from. I do have some leather, but I also have some silver wire. And then what I do is I put the silver wire, there's my tool, my silver wire, and then I will I'll put a clippy on the end so that you can like hang it from something like your rear view mirror, or you could put it in your house. I made a really pretty one that was made with gold. This part was gold, and then I put some little glass chip pink stones, and my daughter saw it, and my granddaughter, who is 10, and she's just like, oh my god, it's beautiful, I have to have it. I'm like, okay, you can take it. So she hung it up in my bedroom. So now I don't have too much here, but I'm going to take this and I'm just going to go ahead and make me a curlicue, because it would be really hard for me to get that with my fingers. So I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to go around. And see, that is right where I want it to be, because I can't fill it. And then I'm just going to push down on it, and that's going to hold it in place. Because this wire, once you give it a little bit of pressure, it hardens it. And you can kind of tell the difference after you do that, because it's there. It's not going to move. So far so good. I'm pretty happy with it. I am going to go ahead and do a curlicue here. And I think that looks really nice. Put a bead on there. Ooh, I picked up a silver bead this time. There was only two silver ones and all of those gold ones. Maybe I should stick with the gold. How many I got? I got 3 gold ones left. You know what? I think I'm just going to go ahead and use the silver one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use my silver bead. Oops, I just flung it, and it might be lost, so let's see what else I have here. I found another silver one. Stick that on there. There we go. And it doesn't have to be up against that bead. I'll grab one of my white ones. I don't know if this looks like bone or just rock, but I really just like the way it looks. Okay, so I think I'm going to go this way. I'm going to come down alongside of it and come up. Give it a little bit more filling, I guess. And I'm going to do a curlicue. I think I'm just going to put another one of these beads on. Hope I don't run out of these beads, because I don't have very many of these. And it is a silver one. There we go. So I think that filled up the space really well. I think the roundness is staying pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to wrap this around. Looks like I'm going to have a lot of this piece left. That's okay. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and do a curly Q. Put my finger over that. I'm going to take that underneath. I'm just going to bend it a little bit. Pull it from behind. There we go. I am going to take that around once because I want to make sure that it stays in place. There we go. It did cover that bead up quite a bit, but you know what? That's okay. I'm all right with that. I saw it happening while I was doing it, and I'm okay with that. So now I want to put this down under there. I grab my cutters and I'm going to squeeze it down in there. Ooh, I cut a lot of that off. But can't feel it, and it's in there. I just bent it right in there, so that's good. Sorry if I get out of screen. I don't mean to. I'm trying to not look through the phone because I'm as blind as a bat. Alrighty. There we go. So, I am pretty happy with it. This tree is really leaning though. It's a leaning tree. So maybe I'll do, I think I want to do this one next. There we go. Okay. So all of them I have, so I'm going to try doing one with this first, and I like that because now they're not all the same height. And I am going to do a curly Q. These tools really do come in handy. I bet I've had these like for 10 years. I'm a pack rat. I never throw nothing away. I think it stems from my childhood of not having much. So I've had them for a long time. I think at one point I thought I was going to do beading, but I never did. But I believe you can get the kit of 3 of these for $10. So yeah, I really like the way that looks. I think I'm going to do another curly Q. And a lot of the time I like to do them like one way and then the next one the next way. And I really do love curly Qs. And I like how easy they are when you can just wrap it around there. Look at there. And then I can just keep, I just move this and keep wrapping. There we go. Now that's a thick curly Q because I went around twice. So I'm just going to squish them. There we go. Now I can go here. Is that where I want to go? Do I want to make them go the other way? I think right there is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and wrap around. And you know, like I said, if your piece is really little, just use your these to grab it and bring it through. Like so. Okay. So I went around 3 times. It's moving a little bit. So I'm going to squish it. And straighten it up. And let's see if I can do a curly Q. Oh, yep, I sure can. It's not that small. There we go. Okay, so that curlicue is little. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this to the back. There we go. Turn it over. Now I'm just going to take this end and I'm going to bend it so it's not going to poke anybody. And I'm just going to kind of try to put it down in there. There we go. Went in. So simple. Behind that curlicue. There we go. Wow, that is so pretty. Okay. So here, I don't think I'm going to do a curlicue. Oh my gosh, I'm down to my last bead. My last silver bead, gold bead. Because I dropped the one in my chair. Found it. Okay. So we do have one more that I can use. Okay. So I'm going to put that here and do another curlicue. You can see I got this pattern going with my curlicues. And oh, this is not a bruise. I know it looks pretty hideous. I took my granddaughter to Kohl's. I am doing something different this year where they're getting their Christmas money for Christmas this year now, if they want it. And she wanted hers now. And we went to Sephora because she's going to be 13. And of course, you know, makeup is a pretty great thing. And they had this self-tanning. So you put it on a Q-tip and I just rubbed it in. And look what it did. It gave me this big, huge spot that made it look like a bruise. And it's been a few days and then it started burning like it was on fire. So I burnt myself. So I've been putting lotion on it. And I think it was my fault because while I'm walking around, I'm just rubbing and rubbing and rubbing. And I caught myself rubbing it in. And I'm just like, Emily, you don't need to rub it in so that it never comes out. But of course I didn't use the right color either. So it's not a bruise. It is self-tanning makeup. That's just an age spot. So the other ones, don't look at those. Okay. So let's see what we got in here. Oh, okay. Here's my last gold bead. And I think I do want to use that. Is that gold? Is that silver? Gold. Okay. I think I do want to use that last one. So look at how pretty that is. Oh, extremely, extremely excited. And I do not think that I need to do a curlicue here. I think what I'm going to try to do is pull it down a little bit. There we go. Wrap around a few times. And squish them together. It doesn't want to squish. Come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on. Get over there. I'm going to mess up here at the end. There we go. That looks fine because I'm going to cover it up with the curlicue. And there we go. Because I like it to be able to see the coils in the middle. So I'm going to just put my finger over that. And I'm going to wrap it around. And I'm going to take that through. You can see it doesn't really take too long. I do like to take my time just because I like to enjoy this. I like to enjoy the process. I like to just think about where I'm going to put my beads at. And I've made some where there's a lot of beads and then I'm just like, ugh. I really like the ones that don't have too many beads. And I don't think that these big beads are too many. So let me see how I'm going to bury this. You can see it separated there a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about that. And these will bend farther than you think. There we go. Of course, the last one has to be the one that gives me the most trouble. Okay. So, there we go. Move everything out of the way. And isn't that beautiful? Very, very happy with that. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Now let me get my other ones that I did and show you those. So this is pretty good size, you can tell. I'm putting it on the palm of my hand, so it's pretty good size. It's covering my whole palm. Like I said, I used a vitamin bottle. You could use any size of anything you want that's round when you wrap it around there, so you can make little ones, big ones, even bigger ones. You could go to Michael's and they have these great big huge round ones, and I think they're only like $2 and they're gold and they're pretty thick, and I do want to get one to make one nice big one for myself. But let me get my other ones so that you can see those. So first off, I have this one that I made. It has different colored stones, and you can see I wrapped it all the way around, and it's gold. And I really like how the tree just goes in different directions, and I use different colored beads. Now, these are stone. They're not plastic. These are crystals. And I don't know what that is with the little sparklies, but it's absolutely beautiful. So this one is smaller than the one we just made. And I am going to have a craft sale, so I wanted to make quite a few of them. And these are littler, so I'm really not too sure how much I'm going to sell these for. This one is really pretty. I love the green. Green's my most favorite color, but it has all different kind of beads in it. So this one, I'm afraid, is going to have to be, someone's going to have to like that one. Now, I haven't got all of them on strings yet, but this one is on leather. And it has a big bead here, and I love green, so of course I love this one. These are chipped, and what are they called? I can't remember. Sorry, brain fart. But I used that green wire that I got at Walmart, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's one of my favorites. This one is also one of my favorites because I just love the way that these little chip stones, look at them. They look like they have a little bit of jasper, maybe some onyx. They're just rocks. And I love the color of this. And of course, I got that at Walmart also. I believe I'm going to sell the small ones for maybe $5. You can see that these are a little bit smaller. And I don't think that's a bad price because I know what I pay for my materials, and I'm not out to make them a mint. I just want someone to enjoy my products, take them home, share them, maybe buy them as a gift. But this one I really like. I used small seed beads. And it's just very colorful. Now, it might not look as like much right now. However, if you put those on your car and had it hanging, it'd look beautiful. Now, this one has a lot of stones. So this one's really heavy. These are all real stones. They're chips. You can see that there's all different kinds in there. There's this yellow one that I absolutely love. Of course, I love the green, and I really like the turquoise. There's some black onyx in here. Look at this one. It's blue, and it has sparkles in the rocks. It's very pretty. But anyway, I like this one. I do like wrapping all the way around it like that. But I also like the ones that I'm not wrapping all the way around. Now look at this one. Gorgeous. I put a chain on this one. But this is, you know, has the pink beads. And they kind of match really nicely with this wire. And this is the wire I got at Walmart. So I'm telling you, you can make these and they don't have to cost you a lot of money. I think this one is my last small one. I am in love with Christmas. Green's my favorite color, and I absolutely love, I believe these are jasper. These are real stones, and I love them. I'm going to tell you a secret. I got a whole thing of these real stone chips from Temu for $1.88. Okay, maybe it wasn't $1.88, but I know it wasn't very much. And it took me forever to get them. It took me a month almost to get them in the mail. And I was biting at the chip. I was biting at the bit. But once I got them, I was so happy with them because I made all of these. I think I used them all on these projects. And there was some that didn't have holes in them, so I was really upset about that. But, you know, for the price I paid, and then after I started thinking about it, it was almost worth just going to Amazon because I would have got more in a package and just paid more and they would have been here the next day. This one is on a chain. Apparently I've got it all tangled up. But isn't that pretty? And I used different color seed beads. Those are glass seed beads. And like I said, I had those cutters for about 10 years. And when I found those, because I had them in a little tiny tote, these beads were in there with them. So I don't even know what I paid for those. But isn't that pretty? And this one has a lot of arms on it. This wire I did buy at Michael's, and it was a lot thinner. No, I ordered it from Temu, and it was a lot thinner. So it was easy to work with. Let me get these out here. It was easy to work with, but it was very thin. This one I think is so pretty, and you can see I did not wrap all the way around. And I really like the different colors. I am very gaudy and I like a lot of color. So I really like this one. And I think this hanging from a car would be absolutely gorgeous. And we have this one. Oh, this one I think is this one is like one of my favorites. I just love all the color. I love the brown. The brown came from Walmart. And I like that there's not too many stones, and I like all the different colors. Of course, I'm going to show you all of them, so keep watching. And there's this one. I like this one. I just really like the color of that bronze on the outside. I wrapped all the way around, and just those different colors. So this one is absolutely beautiful too. There's only a few left. This one I got carried away. Look at all of those stones. So I think the bigger ones I'm going to sell for $8, but the ones with all the stones like this are going to go for $10 because I did use a lot of stones. And this one I used different colored wire to wrap around the outside. And I think that just adds to it. And I like the curly cues. So this one is very heavy. You can see the different colored wires that I used here on the bottom. I just want to do something a little bit different, crazy. So we have 2 left. Now I love this. I think it's because I really love these glass beads, these blue glass beads. They're blue and green. And I really think in the sun that it's just going to shimmer. Then I got 2 of these black ones up on top. And those are all glass beads. One little C bead right there. And this one, I absolutely love how the tree is just all windy. My last one. Here's one I made. Now this one, like I said, you can make them without beads if you prefer not to have beads. You can make a sun catcher if you just wanted to make a whole bunch of these. And I really like this without the beads. And I didn't go around it on the outside. It's plain, simple, and elegant. And I did get this middle wire at Walmart again. I just can't tell you how cheap this wire is and how many projects I can get out of it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I just wanted to share it with you because I've been making them. You can tell I've been working really hard. and I sit in my chair a lot. Sometimes if I don't feel good, making a tree makes me so happy. And if I can, I have been giving them away as gifts, and I'm hoping I can sell some at our next craft sale. Okay, next one, which I mean my first one, which I mean we're going to where my daughter lives. They have a clubhouse there, and they're going to let me and my girlfriend have a 4-hour craft sale in the clubhouse. My friend Stacy, she is going to crochet some baby blankets. She has some queen size blankets she crocheted. She is awesome. And I am going to take my trees, my crocheted gnomes, and when I say my trees, I made wire trees. I'm taking these, my crocheted gnomes. I made some wire rings, and I'm making bracelets with beads. So it's just going to be a nice outing for me and Stacy to sit and visit for a few hours, and hopefully someone will come and find our projects absolutely beautiful. And if we don't sell anything, that's okay, because I love to give stuff away, especially when I can make something so lovely and I don't have to spend a lot of money. But the big ones will be $8. The small ones will probably be $5. And I'm just enjoying myself. So I hope you found this interesting. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Give this a try yourself. It doesn't have to be an expensive hobby. It can just be something that you enjoy creating. Well, you guys have a great day. Stay safe. I will be back soon. And keep crafting. Bye.